Hi there, good afternoon. I'm Holly James, and I am one of the owners at Vitality Health and Wellness.
Yeah, and I'm Dr. James, the medical director and co-owner of Vitality Health and Wellness. Welcome to our first of a series of podcasts focused on the mission of Vitality and the impact it can have on you and the community.
Absolutely. We've been practicing medicine for quite a few years. I know I've been a nurse for 33 years, and I've had the opportunity to take care of and treat a lot of patients with a lot of disease processes. Back in the day when I first started as a young nurse, I worked in cardiac recovery, and I also moonlighted at a lot of different hospital organizations, and unfortunately had the opportunity to see a lot of people in the disease state. And they're at the point in life where sometimes there weren't any answers or any way to really find a way to treat them. This is something that's troubled me the entire 33 years as being a nurse. And I know for me, I have prioritized my health and wellness and made that my mission is to avoid or do anything I can in my power to avoid being sick and preventing illness. So it's very exciting to offer these services that have not only made a huge difference in my life, but also in the lives of our patients. And so we can share a little bit more.
Yeah, a little history behind it. I've been a physician for many years, since 1985. Practicing interventional pain management or pain management medicine exclusively since 2003, but really started it back about 10 years prior to that. And as I moved into the specialty of interventional and pain management, the frustration is that we were taking care of patients mostly after the fact, severe degenerative conditions, post-surgical conditions, chronic pain, a lot of treatment for disease, but not in a way of prevention. So we started a mission of, here's the thing, the best way to prevent chronic pain, the best way to treat chronic pain is to prevent it. And is really a complex and a subject for a whole nother talk, perhaps. But the bottom line is that if you treat acute pain and you do health and wellness treatments early on, then management of even traumatic pain or pain of degenerative disease could be much lessened. So as we saw the struggles of these pain patients, many were smokers, overweight, poor diabetic control, poor diet, low level of activity, maybe opioid dependent, a lot of pain behaviors and chronic illness that by the time they got to us, to reset that clock was really difficult. So fairly early on, I think probably going back more than 10 years, we started looking at what we could do to help patients' lifestyle improve, even as they recovered from their chronic pain, and move that to more of a prevention type program. This started with smoking cessation being the most important, and diet perhaps number two, and then, it's just taking care of yourself. If you're diabetic, it's extremely important for glycemic control, tight control of blood sugars. So encouraging and insisting patients participate with their medical care providers. We added exercise, we added diet counseling, we added some physical therapy, which we have embedded in our clinic here, and we branded that as a service line called Flow Enhanced Therapy and Wellness. And inside the pain practice, it just didn't work for a lot of things. It was really hard to get patients motivated by making the lifestyle changes that are necessary for improved health and function. So as we rebranded with Holly's idea, we named it Vitality, a bit more of a standalone, because we really wanted to get patients earlier in the process, not after they were already referred to pain management. It's still an important factor for everybody in our practice, but the whole industry has just exploded, and we've progressively added service lines to address virtually all your self-help healthcare needs. Big focus is on activity, diet, exercise, and basically focusing on how you can prevent inflammation, the root of most disease evil in our body, from arthritis to diabetes to coronary artery disease. It's all about inflammation. And the science is still emerging, but it's very, very exciting. Again, we're happy to offer a broad palette of options for patients to consider.
Absolutely. When we first started Vitality, we really focused on the bioidentical hormone replacement. I, in particular, had a real challenge when I hit 47.
You're 47 already?
I'm actually encroaching upon 55 this year, believe it or not.
Oh.
And at that time, the symptoms were so significant. I went from really feeling amazing while I was managing our 4 surgery centers and raising 2 beautiful children and active in life. And then those symptoms hit. I was no longer sleeping. I felt sluggish and tired. My optimistic attitude was kind of weaning at times. And I was a little bit more irritable than I really felt myself, what I typically was. Additionally, I had a little additional weight gain despite still running, working out, modifying my diet, really cut out all sugar, and I was still challenged. So it was at that time that Dr. James went to a conference and discovered the bioidentical hormone replacement. And once I had my first treatment, it was the biggest game changer of my life. And so I remember just within days, my energy improved, my sleep improved, my mental focus, ability to focus improved, energy levels. I was ready to go out and exercise again. Attitude, just felt more positive and optimistic again, which was really beautiful. And that's who I am naturally. So it was challenging when these hormones were holding me back. And then also, I have to say, for so many women who struggle with the sexual health component as well once they hit menopause. And so that greatly improved for me too. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and seeing so many patients over the years who feel so much better. It is the most rewarding thing that we do, besides raising our own children, is seeing patients really heal, improve, and get back to the lives that they want to live.
Yeah, that talking about hormone replacement therapy, again, started the pain patients, people suffering from chronic disease, chronic pain, have suppression of hormones, not just the sex hormones, but others. And particularly if they happen to be on opioids, which I discourage, but it does. And so we started doing hormone replacement therapy because it improved patients' energy levels, fought fatigue, and helped improve sleep, and maybe improve performance. We add on that what I call the anti-inflammatory diet, which is basically the Mediterranean diet. We are what we eat in a critical factor in feeling better, reducing inflammation, performing better, lowering your cholesterol. All the necessary things is to have a proper diet. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy Handel's ice cream. Am I allowed to say brand? Now and then, or a stadium hot dog when you go to the Mud Hens game. But the day-to-day in has to be disciplined. And be honest with you, just like those patients who've quit smoking and they can't stand smoke anymore. You quit eating all that bad food, all that processed meat, heavy fats, bad cheeses, fast food, extra carbs, and then you do decide to go have a couple of pieces of pizza like I did last night, or it was the night before last, then you feel miserable, which is kind of a good sign. So listen to your body. When you make these choices, they are tough up front, just like exercises, but once you adapt, they become your lifestyle. It becomes what you want, and you don't want the other stuff anymore. And it's such a powerful transformation. So diet's critical. There's so much else we're doing. Let's just get right on to it while we're on nutrition, about the additional nutritional support we provide other than diet guidance, including the weight loss program.
Well, absolutely. And I have to say, for us, once we discovered bioidentical hormone replacement, it was a natural progression to continue to study healthy lifestyles. We've done deep dive research and looked for additional training and education, not only for Dr. James, myself, but also for our nurse practitioner, Amanda. I'm a huge believer in education. So many of the things that are contemporary beliefs and philosophies weren't popular back in the day. And so it's important for us to clear up some of the controversies that are out there. And I know for so many patients, it's challenging to sift through that information. And so we've really taken a lot of pride in being the top, really researching and being the top in our field for offering these treatments and therapies. So some of the therapies that we have found to be incredibly helpful are weight loss therapy. We have also help for sports medicine, for performance and improvement, for metabolic health, as well as anti-aging and longevity. So there are so many components to what we do, and so many of them fit together into all of the categories, and some of them are very specific. For example, bioidentical hormone replacement can really help alter and change that as that aging process. And so as we age, adding that bioidentical hormone replacement, monitoring metabolic health, exercising, all those things really factor in with how you progress and how you feel. So, yes, weight loss is one, performance and recovery.
Yeah, and on that weight loss thing, it obviously starts with diet, but there's some great supplements for weight loss, and we all do have the ability with GPL-1's, medical assisted weight loss as well. All well monitored, done carefully, and when you start developing a program for a patient of nutrition and hormone replacement, it does start with history, examination, needs, wants, gaps in care, addressing healthcare needs, and a robust blood work and testing, everything from for gut health and blood tests to see where deficiencies are and what needs to be addressed to optimize it. In nutrition, of course, while diet is most critical, is supplement use obviously has exploded, multi-billion-dollar business in the United States, and we can provide some good guidance. There's a lot of duplicity in supplements, a lot of hype, a lot of you don't do this, you're going to die sort of advertising, and sifting through what is vetted out with a reasonable amount of evidence that it can actually help your health, maybe even longevity. We can certainly assist that and design a good program for supplementation. I do think supplements are necessary. A good healthy diet. Let's just take an example of polyphenols, powerful anti-inflammatories. These are the phytochemicals, flavonoids. You've all heard about it. The dark skin of fruits and vegetables. But to consume a metabolically effective amount of these products, you got to eat a lot of vegetables and fruit, which may be difficult.
Counterproductive as
And
well.
in fruit could be too many calories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to take a concentrated supplement of polyphenols is a great adjunct to a healthy, well-rounded diet. In other ones, the vitamin D and conditionally critical amino acids and basic energy vitamins. And then there are some longevity supplements, which are still early in the research stages, but some really pretty interesting animal evidence and evidence even in humans about what makes us age and what we can take to perhaps live better longer. So beyond the scope of this talk to go through all those options, but we have a team of I say experts or at least knowledgeable practitioners here to help guide you through the supplement choice. And we provide high quality supplements here, well vetted out third-party testing, although obviously there are other options as well, and we can help you make those choices.
Well, and that's part of the challenge with so many supplements that are on the market. You have a lot of supplements that have fillers in it, and actually some of the fillers can be counterproductive for your health. So we truly pride ourselves in discussing this with and looking at different companies to ensure that they are third party tested, that what is in the supplements is truly what's in the supplements and nothing else. toxins in our environment are one of the biggest challenges that so many individuals have. We have several books here if you're interested in what toxins are in the environment, but there are toxins in our water, there are toxins in our food, even things. I'm a big fish lover. They're showing that a lot of the fish now has mercury. And because of pollution, they're eating more and more plastics. The microplastics are detrimental to our health. And they're finding that in our water as well as our food supply. In addition to that, even cosmetics that we're putting on our body have toxins in them. The air we breathe is filled with toxins. And so we can't avoid it. So even with the best diet, non-smoking, exercise, and really being mindful of your health and wellness, you can still experience ill feelings and not have that optimal health. So a combination of things like glutathione, that is the master antioxidant, so we can help remove these toxins from your system, and then we can replenish with your system with IV minerals and vitamins, as well as other really powerful supplements, as well as the additional oral supplements that you can take in between maybe an IV infusion program. There are many nutritionals that are specific to brain and cognitive function. And I take them myself, and I know that on the days that I'm taking my mushrooms, my all the things that omegas, and really mindful of that, I feel so much better. I'm able to function. I come in ready to go and a mile a minute. And so again, going back to what Dr. James said earlier, those supplements are incredibly important, even with the best diet, and finding the supplement that's right for you. And again, just kind of, adding a little additional, each and every patient of ours has a specific, unique program that's designed for them. So for example, if I'm coming in, I'm going to talk about my symptoms. My symptoms for BHRT might be different than another person my age's symptoms. We're going to look at symptoms, we're going to look at your blood work, and then we're going to discuss different treatment options. And that could be anything beginning from something as simple as a supplement to something more advanced as an IV or nutritional that might really help these patients to succeed in their goals. We talk to patients to establish goals that will help them reach goals, and a plan that will help them reach optimal health. And that's what we're really looking at, and that's what we're really after.
And you alluded to it, but the intravenous supplements, there are in some cases, well, first of all, IV is 100% bioavailable. It's always going to be better than taking oral supplements. And while many oral supplements work great, sometimes it's hard to optimize the amount necessary for the oral route. You mentioned glutathione, poorly absorbed. It's made by your body. As we get older, we make less. And it's really difficult through supplementation to replace what your body is no longer making in adequate amounts in terms of that particular molecule or small protein. So IV supplementation is the best way to do that. You talk about the energy molecules, NAD, similar thing. While there's some supplements that help support, if you're really deficient, IV administration is the route to restore your energy levels and your function, your mitochondrial health through that. And then and if you do this adjunct with the basic B vitamins and certain mineral supplements and things, and the other part is the recovery part. If you're an athlete or you're a weekend warrior and you're working hard and you're training, and as we get a little older, it's a little harder to recover from those exercises. And some of the intravenous supplements can go a long way for faster recovery and speed up your training. And it's an important thing. Recovery after surgeries, for instance, there's lots of things we can do. Let's make that a segue into another exciting part of our business, the regenerative medicine.
Yes, very good.
So I'll let you talk a little bit, but we've been doing regenerative medicine for a long time. And it's not a new concept, but it's This expansion across the world is simply amazing. A little slower in the United States due to regulatory issues, but it's got to be a widely utilized, well-accepted method of treatment. Now, we can't say we treat specific diseases or conditions or cures. It is an adjunct, but it makes great sense.
Yeah.
And it comes in lots of different flavors, regenerative medicine. But what we're trying to do is enhance the body's to heal itself. And we've been looking at this and working with this since 2015, and we remain independent. There's others, in this area that are providing services. Some doing quite a good job. It's a large practice that's kind of tied into a single service line because of their arrangement with a national organization. Similar, actually, with the other practice we know of in town. Uniquely here, unlike other practitioners, our providers are all extensively trained in interventional therapies. And so deployment of regenerative medicine products to joints, tendons, ligaments, spine, and other areas, you're dealing with people who are experts in placing needles and delivering the products where they need to go. So your procedural risk is minimal, and your chances of success are high. We're independent, therefore we can go to market and learn and be able to provide emerging therapies without being tied to any kind of restrictive sort of arrangements. So we have a broad spectrum of options here. Simple thing, people know, platelet-rich plasma, up to autologous stem cells from your own body. And we have access to high-quality orthobiologics that are FDA, produced by SBA certified lab, and even some cell banking. So a lot of options here for regenerative medicine. The results have been really very, very good. And I think that our results are very, very good because of patient selection. A lot of the negatives you hear, recent article on failed regenerative medicine for knee, well, they took patients where it was bone on bone. There wasn't any cartilage left. So you have to be reasonable on what you expect. So earlier you get involved in regenerative medicine, maybe even in your 30s if you're a young athlete. And I see it all the time. Oh, you better do it now. You got a bad disc. You don't need surgery, but that thing, you're young enough, it can actually heal if we treat it now. At least there's a good chance of it.
Well, we just
that's
had
an exciting
a young 25-year-old who's a runner, whose mother is an RN, and she's done the studies and the research, and she realizes that for her daughter, who's 25 and an active runner, she really said, please do not get your hips injected with steroid. It would be, long term, that's not really going to be beneficial for you.
Absolutely
Instead,
true.
we should consider some type of stem cell treatment. And so she's very excited about joining us and hopefully getting great results. We've had a lot of ages of patients, everywhere from those young 25-year-olds up to 69-year-olds who are getting great benefits from their therapy and treatment from stem cells. We'd love to see everyone at the Vitality Health and Wellness Centers for our open house on October 23rd. We'll begin at 8 a.m. and you can pop in the doors anytime. We'll have giveaways and drawings for many of our services that we offer at Vitality Health and Wellness. We'll also have live demonstrations, opportunities to get discounts on all the things that make you feel lovely and special, like Botox and filler, as well as laser hair removal, hair restoration services, and labs discounts that can be purchased that day as well. So please join us. We look forward to seeing you at Vitality Health and Wellness between 8 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. with giveaways every couple of hours. Look forward to seeing you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.